Hello and welcome to a stream. So this stream is going to be about reacting to what Linus and Marcus Brownlee have been talking about, because they got their hands on the RTX 3090, which is the first sort of real sort of trustworthy kind of thing, 8K gameplay. But we're going to be talking a bit more about it. Now, I'm not going to use Linus's video as well because it will just make the stream longer. So we're just going to watch Marcus Brownlee. So hopefully, Marcus, if you're watching, I hope that this is okay for me to use your content. I just want to obviously show what you're talking about as well, which matches up to kind of what I've been talking about in the streams. And we'll talk about Linus and all that as well. But the more realistic one, we'll talk about afterwards. So we're just gonna literally play it now and see what you guys think. So let me change camera. Hang on, wrong camera. Right. So that one. There we go. That one. That will do. So let's go.
Got an old or faulty
we got an
laptop,
ad.
games
Great.
console, smartwatch, tablet, or mobile
Where's
phone?
my headphones?
Turn it into cash, fast, at MazumaMobile.com. Simple. Just register online, choose our DPD contactless collection, or request a prepaid pack. Secure. We'll wipe all your data. Swift. We'll pay you the same
GeForce RTX.
Alright, let's go back 10 seconds.
That I'm going to try to answer with this video, which, you guys know what that means. This video is going to be 8K.
What?
The whole thing. It's going to be rough on the processing, but hey, we're doing it. Look, with all the hype about these consoles, though, with the PS5 coming out, with the Xbox Series X, and I've done videos about both of them, this sort of conversation starts to drum up again where do PC games really do that much more than console games? Can these...
Well, I like what he's already said. He's talking about, obviously, he's got the Xbox Series X or Series whatever, Xbox, can't remember the damn names. But yes, he's talking about that, and we're coming to, because we're in 2020 going into 2021, you got to make sure that like the PCs, like graphics cards are still obviously going to be better than what Xboxes or any consoles are. So I like what he's saying there.
new consoles essentially be PC gaming. And you wouldn't be crazy to think that, by the way. A lot of what we've seen with the new consoles as people try to decide which one to upgrade to have shown a pretty big generational leap. And so we're impressed with that, but that's when the PC gaming community gets in my ear and they're like, hey, Marquez, look, that's cool and everything, but the real power still comes from the real computer. So of course, this wouldn't be an MKBHD video on 8K gaming without a little bit of an exclusive. So, this is the first time anyone's seeing on camera the new Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090. So this is the highest end in Nvidia's new 3000 series. It's a gigantic, huge graphics card. But this is the top of their new lineup, and this is capable of things that no new console will even really be able to touch. Of course, we're talking about 8K gaming. Now, of course, frame rate is king, and I've said that myself. I said that in the Xbox video. But if you want to maximize detail and immersion in every possible way in this gaming world, you also need high resolution. And so that's why we're trying to answer the question, can you even game right now in 8K? And if anything can do it, this can. Now you may remember an older video where I did try to game in 8K. That was 3 years ago, believe it or not. And looking back, it was worth a shot. We had the Dell 8K monitor, we had a powerful computer, but there were a lot of workarounds happening. For one, you needed 2 cables from the computer to the monitor, and it was stitching the whole thing together. And when we finally got it running, I mean, it ran at 8K, technically, but you saw the footage. It wasn't amazing. But now it's 2020, so we've got to step our game up like Mr. Beast would want us to. So remember this? This is the 88-inch 8K OLED TV from that Dope Tech video. It's back. And Main Gear has also stepped up their game. So this is their F131. So this is their custom computer basically built around the 3090. So if the 3090 is, as Nvidia says, built for 8K gaming,
Hi Archie, how you doing?
then the rest of this computer's got to be built for 8K gaming too. And it is. So Intel Core i9 10900K.
Just like a quick question, well, not a quick question. Like basically, I think cases are going to have to slightly change a bit, because that RTX 3090 literally is so huge. It literally takes up all the space in the computer cases. That means you're going to have even wider cases. So hopefully manufacturers for cases are going to bring out some really big beefy ones.
So that's 10 cores, 3.7 gigahertz base clock, turboing up to 5.
Music, 1550, smashing you. Smashing me? What do you mean by that?
3 gigahertz. You got 32 gigs of fast HyperX Fury RAM in here, an MSI MPG Z490 gaming motherboard, they're always great with names, and then a terabyte Samsung NVMe SSD, the 970 Pro is the boot drive. And then there's another 2 terabyte SSD for
all
mass
good,
storage,
Archie, all good.
Stuff you don't need to access.
Just doing a reaction on obviously Linus's video and MKBHD is a video as well, and talking about which is more like realistic and more closer to what's been said in the video. But we're gonna have a discussion afterwards. I just want to go through this like really quickly.
Quite as quickly. So it's all in a custom built aluminum chassis. You see the RGB in there. You see that MKBHD logo, the matte black outside, the tinted glass, and the side panel. This thing means business.
Scottish,
well,
eh?
Not business. I mean, unless 8K gaming is your business, then that's a pretty sweet business. Anyway, let's get into it. Also, don't worry, this isn't a review of the new card.
By the way, how is lockdown going on in Scotland at the moment?
Are no benchmarks in this video. This is just about 8K gaming, but I'm sure we'll have all of that and more very...
Right, so he says there's going to be no benchmarks in the video, just 8K gaming. Now, this is why I think this is quite a good video, but just carry on. Let's just watch it.
Soon, when the Linus Tech Tips video and the Hardware Canucks videos drop.
So I know Linus, and I've met both of them, Hardware Canucks as well. I didn't even know Hardware Canucks is even getting RTX 3090, but his video will be definitely like real in depth and quite clean, and cinematography and all that sort of stuff. Linus's video, I don't know. It's I reckon he's gonna get right to the point. But if you check out his video after my stream, then let me know what you think in the comments, what you think about his video, because you might think a little bit more different. But it's nice that he got the RTX 3090. He also got an 8K TV as well. And he sounds like it's like Christmas. Marcus Brownlee's a little bit more relaxed. It's not letting him phase him about the money. So let's just talk about that.
Matter of fact, I'll link both of those.
It's going no bad. New restrictions in, but not much you can do. I hope you stay safe, mate, because it's just annoying. What would you say the best GPU CPU combos for 700 PC build? Infection rate is starting to go too high again. Oh, that's bad, man. That's bad.
Below when they do actually drop their videos about the card, because I'm sure people are interested in that. But also, I think it's pretty safe to say this card will probably crush synthetic benchmarks. All right, so we got a little setup going here. The main gear computer on the desk next to me.
The 3090 looks ridiculously a beast. It looks like a beast. That's what it looks like. Crazy. Yeah.
And the 8K TV in front.
Bad.
I want to show you guys something really quick though. So on this built for 8K graphics card, it's got HDMI 2.1 ports like I talked about, and that's what
Right, just looking at the like Marcus Brownlee's got some huge hands, man, and that graphics card just like devours his hands, and that big heat like dissipation grill. It's ridiculous how much heat's gonna be just going through the back. It just makes me feel that this card just running it through 8K. Obviously, this is 8K TVs running it off, so it's not even a monitor. So the 8K TV's got CPU processors, it's got its own graphics card and its own motherboard. It's got all that sort of stuff. If it was running off a monitor, it'd be a bit of a different story. But I don't know, like a PC running 8K game, it's mad.
enables that single cable to do 8K out. And this is the HDMI.
No, Archie, I didn't air you, mate. Sorry, man. It's just that if you're asking me about like what is for a good PC build combo, it's going to take up a bit of time because there's loads of different answers to that. So I'm still going to obviously answer that soon, mate.
A cable we're using. And if you look at it, it's a little thicker. It's a little more averse to like bending.
Right, so this cable is especially for 8K. I remember they had loads of different cables for 4K back in the day. It's got different signals that go down the cable. So obviously, I think one was for the actual visual and one was for the audio. But now it's all in one and it's slightly more thicker, but it's going to cost a premium as well.
This is the type of cable you'll need to get 8K through a single cable.
Karim Matsu.
And now if I go ahead on the desktop and display settings,
I think that's your name.
7060
What's good, G? What's up?
20 is the resolution we're getting. So we're ready to play. All right, so we got a few games installed, and I want to play. First one I want to show is Forza Horizon 4. I've been a driving game type of person for a long time, sports games and driving games, but I'm pretty sure seeing all the detail of the map and the car in a driving game is going to be a major advantage to having this many pixels. And there's this pretty sweet demo mode that we'll go through that has like 4 different seasons and a bunch of different cars, and it's a pretty sweet demo. Okay, so now we're in the game, and I have the controller actually connected. This intro though, I think when they make these, they don't render these at 8K, so this is less than 8K. I think this is either 4K or maybe 1080p. It doesn't look as good as 8K gaming, but let's go into video. Oh, there it is, right off the bat. 8K, 60 FPS. All right.
Here's what I see.
Oh, the Senna.
Festival that never ends.
And even this, I don't think we're 8K yet, but it
Where you
looks
can
so
be
good.
Whatever you want to be.
That doesn't look 8K.
It's not your dream
All right, we're almost there.
anymore. That's the
I'm about to
horizon.
drive a Senna directly into a giant screen.
Let me show you.
This is definitely what's happening.
Welcome to autumn. A new
Oh,
beginning
wow.
for the festival that never ends.
Oh, now it's
Don't
8K.
go
There you
anywhere.
go.
Horizon is here to stay.
All right. So right off the bat, it's telling me we are like locked at 60 FPS. So in the autumn setting, I'm seeing like all these leaves.
Right, he says that he's locked at 60 FPS. Now, he's running this RTX 3090, and basically, he's got like, he said no benchmarks, but he's got a little benchmark on there, even though Forza 4. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Leaves on the ground.
And also, hey to Super Chat and M30.
All the leaves on the trees. All the detail in the sky. It's stuff you would still see at 1440p or 1080, but it's that much crisper. And I'm driving a little bit recklessly while trying to talk at the same time. Oh god, a Senna would not make it through that. Alright, let's see what inside the car. Oh, I cracked the windshield already. Beautiful. Wow, that is the McLaren steering wheel for sure. It's not exactly what my hands would look like, but that's pretty good. Okay, now you get to winter. I've done this before. The winter is insane. You see every little...
Archie with the Super Chat of £2.99. Thanks, Archie. Nice one, man.
snowflake
Really
falling on the
appreciate it.
screen, everything.
There's a comment down below as
You're
well.
getting snowflakes. Oh, wow. Okay. Still pretty much locked at 60 FPS. If we wanted to go higher, we'd need a higher refresh rate screen. And then there's these little smoke things that come up. And the smoke, I don't know if it looks as realistic, but like, once you start to game at 8K, you start to notice like every single little thing the developer decided to put in the game. It's like when you watch a high resolution animated movie and you know that everything in the movie had to be intentional because it had to be animated in. It's kind of the same thing with...
Right, pay attention, right? Remember, he said the graphics card is locked in into 60 FPS. So technically, with what I was saying in the streams, and all the speculation and some truths to be told, is that when you got a PC, you can throttle down or throttle up. And it's the difference of the power ratio. If it gets too hot, the performance kind of goes down. And if it's all good, it's kind of cool, it goes up. Now, he's playing with the RTX 3090, and Listen to what he's got to say. He's got like a little benchmark there, just a little sneaky thing in there. Just watch what he says about it.
This game, like everything you see on this map and everything you hit with the car and everything that falls out of the sky, it's all very intentional to give you a more immersive feeling, and you notice all of it. Like all these fences I'm hitting and this dirt and splashing. All right, let's see if I can actually get some.
So did you just see that? If I go back slightly, a few frames, yeah, it's at 60 FPS. Watch how much it dips down to.
Notice all of it. Like all these fences I'm hitting and this dirt and splashing.
So it dropped down to 56 FPS at 8K gaming, but it still looks playable. So let's just carry on. Plus, MKBHD, Marcus, it's like, this video is in 1080p. Normally it would be like in 4K, 6K, 8K. You always go to those higher resolutions. I don't know why it's in 1080p. Drop me a comment, man.
Let's see if I can actually get some good times in this demo while the lasers fire into the sky, distracting me. Alright, cutscene. I feel like you can kind of see it shift down to 1440 or 1080 in the cutscenes and then back up to 8K when the gaming starts again, because it's pre-rendered stuff here. Alright. Yeah, that's not 8K. Wow. There is 8K. It's very clear when it turns back on. Alright.
Alright guys, this'll be easy.
Whoa.
Just don't miss the checkpoints and let's go.
These bikes with the smoke, and now it's just a lot of leaves. Lots of textures. The fans in the back of the car. Let me get in the car for a second.
Nice.
So sick.
55 now. 54, 50,
All the water
49.
droplets on the screen too. Each of them has a reflection in it of the world behind it. Like as if you were actually looking through a camera back here. All the water droplets on the top of the car.
Hey Blue, grab the needle with
I'm
me.
loving this. I would be, if I had this set up at home, I would never stop playing this at 8K. Has the GPU struggled yet? Okay, now we're down to 50 FPS, right? 96%. But like when there's that much stuff happening on the screen at once, I'm kind of not shocked.
40
You're pushing a lot of
FPS.
pixels.
Break down.
30 plus megapixels for every single frame. A lot of wind.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
Whoa. God, that's good. Oh, that transition though.
This is it.
Oh, wow.
And then this is the last part of the cutscene. It's summer. We're back in Ascena, I'm pretty sure. Again, this pre-rendered part, not quite. And then it switches to 8K. Wow. Oh, we're flying. Oh, we are flying. We gotta catch the Centenario and the Bugatti up there, while the jets and the leaves and everything distract me. Holy moly. I like how the speedo is in kilometers per hour, but my actual tack is in MPH. Catch the bug. Catch the bug. That was way too easy. I should have caught the bug that easily. Oh boy. I can tell you, as I'm distracted by the interior of this car, from being in high-end McLarens, that's exactly what the menu looks like when you're driving the car.
Oh, Horizon, you do not want to miss out on watching this.
Get around.
Look at that Santa go. I mean, the car, sure, but someone's got to be handling that thing.
So far, it still looks like it's pretty locked in at 60 FPS, but it's... We're going to talk about it.
Final straight. I can't breathe.
That's fun. I'm telling you, you can tell when it switches from the pre-rendered, like, I'm gonna say 1440p looking cutscenes, which look amazing, right into the actively rendering gameplay. I swear you can see it switch, and it looks really good when you actually get into it. All right, let's try another game. All right, this next game is called Control Ultimate Edition. I'm already in the game right now, and it's showing in 8K.
Now pay Very good attention to what Marcus Brownlee says right now about how this graphics card is. Now, remember, this is playing on a TV, not an 8K monitor, an 8K TV. And also, it's got the new RTX 39 graphics card in a top high-end main gear, like PC being custom and built. Check it out.
52 FPS, if I'm just looking around here. And this animation of hitting books, I think is hilarious. But also I want to show you something real quick. So if I go into video settings, options, and switch render resolution, so this is other things in the environment that it's rendering out, to 5K, you can see if we resume the game now it's actually starting to work. The GPU, I'm down to 21 FPS.
21 FPS.
Clearly what it's rendering back there is super high resolution. So if I'm trying to see every single detail, you're
Morning, Joey Rocks.
Frames, 21 FPS now.
Joey Rocks.
When I have the actual resolution of the game set to 8K, which it is, and then render resolution of the world set to 2K, maybe even, let's go 4K and see how it does. Resume game, 36 FPS. So I think really if we're gonna have the best experience, that's gonna have to stay at 2K. So it's not invincible. The card itself isn't going to literally do anything you ask at it. So you can see now the world is a little lower resolution, but I mean clearly the character is still high quality and the game is still high quality. Let's go out this door. This has been a creepy game. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh. What is this? Floating? What? Bro, okay. Okay, this is where it's gonna really show that I'm not actually a good gamer. Oh god. How long till I die? Do the thing. Oh, okay. Well, exposed. I think you can tell this is the type of game that would benefit from, I think, a little bit higher refresh rate. Like the driving game, obviously higher refresh rate, but gaming is like full immersion. You need the detail also. This is the type of game where if you're really just trying to get immersed and truly horrified by a horror game, like look at these textures. Look at these textures. All of these are so high quality. The reflections, the character herself, and when I go up to like a piece of glass and you can see her reflection in the glass too, like that's the type of stuff your eye expects to see when you're actually
that looks pretty good.
Where there would be a reflection. So this is pretty sweet. All right, I have learned a lot. I think I'm ready to give a conclusion. To answer the question in the title of the video, can you game in 8K? Yes, especially if you have a 3090. You can handle pretty much any game in pretty much any resolution. Now the world of gaming in 8K is not just a great GPU and a great game, you also need an 8K display, and that world of 8K gaming monitors doesn't really exist yet, so that little piece of the puzzle that still has to plug in is still not very mature yet. We had that Dell 8K monitor years ago, we have this LG 8K TV that's thousands of dollars. You probably still don't have a need to try to game in 8K yet in 2020. But if you do actually have the right setup, gaming can be spectacular at a high refresh rate or a high resolution if you have the right setup, and this is more than enough to be the right setup. I just want to get like a comparison now between the best that the consoles have to offer, because I've been somewhat of a console gamer for the past couple of years. You see me play 2K all the time, you see me play Need for Speed all the time, things like that. I'm just trying to figure out how big is the difference between those games on, say, a 4K TV versus the 8K stuff that this is kicking out. So far, really good stuff. And yes, if you're a PC Master Race person, you will be able to say the consoles can't do this, officially kicking out 60 FPS at 8K. It's glorious. It's beautiful. So that's been my experience. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Right, so let's get into it. So I watched Linus's video and then I watched Marcus Brownlee. This is the second time I've watched Marcus Brownlee. Oh yeah, Archie. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. I did mention it. If you check the stream afterwards, you will notice that I did say thank you for the super chat and everything like that. So thank you very much, mate. Yeah, so let's get into it. So RTX 3090 is still in its very infant stage. Like I said, very infant stage of being able to do 8K. I still think the AMD graphics cards, when they come along, they're going to still definitely be able to handle a little bit more better. But one company's going to have a little bit better than what the other company's going to have, and the other company's going to have a little bit better than what the other company's going to have. But I know AMD is going to definitely be able to match what's going on. I've got yet to speak to actual AMD. I just really wanted to, I saw this come up in my feed, and I thought, right, I'm going to talk about it. So Linus looks like a really happy person that he's got a 30 grand TV there that he's probably going to be able to keep, as well as RTX 3090. He's got a whole plethora of computers anyway that he can build and get things running and stuff like that. Actually, I don't even remember if I saw what computer he even had, to be honest with you. But Marcus Brownlee had a main gear custom computer sent to him, as well as a 30 grand TV as well as the RTX 3090. But if you look at the reviews, the benchmarks, Marcus has got a little few benchmarks, but he's also not been totally sucked in by the fact, oh, I've got an RTX 3090, which most people will be like, well, happy, and it's absolutely extremely big. But not just that, he gets a gaming custom RTX 3090 build, as well as like all the new like components that are in it, as well as a 30 grand TV as well to play it on. And he's talking about it, and then he's even gone into the settings, and I guess, I don't know, from my reaction it doesn't look like he's meant to go into the settings and change them up, whereas Linus is being told by Nvidia what he's meant to be doing with that graphics card, what games do play specifically on it, whereas Marcus hasn't. Marcus has got all of this, but he's also saying that Linus is going to have benchmarks about it, and so is Hardware Canucks as well. So I'm thinking to myself, it just looks like it's in its infant stage. It doesn't look capable really of playing at 8K. They only played it for a little while. They didn't even play it for a long stress test. Now, if you look, whenever it comes to us reviewers and stuff like that, and people that overclock and do benchmarking, it's different. You need to have the computer on for at least 2 hours to get a decent base mark. And he changed the settings through playing the games, but it wasn't really enough. But it does show that even how quick he was playing different games, it was definitely like showing that it wasn't locked in. It literally throttled and had to come down again. And Linus was like, oh yes, this is excellent gameplay. Yeah, it will feel very excellent, because when you look at a brand new TV that's so crisp and clean, especially with these new OLED or QLED, which I've got a new TV and all that sort of stuff, it does blow your mind. But when you're getting all of this stuff as well on top and for free, it looks really, really good. Now, Marcus doesn't have to do any benchmarks or anything. He just has to do this video. I guess he's going to do some other things afterwards, because he's more of a mobile phone man. And he had done PCs and made Hackintoshes back in the day, so he's pretty good for that. But I trust him a little bit more, because he was talking about the frame rates and the dips and stuff. Plus, he had the little benchmark thing on the screen. It wasn't like too crazy, but he did have one on there, whereas Linus didn't have one at all. And he was just talking about 8K gaming is this. Oh yeah, that's great. Everyone knows that 8K gaming would be the new thing and be good, but we want a little bit more substance. So that's basically all I wanted to say. If you're going to watch a video, like Linus's video is pretty good. If you got baller money in your pocket, then you can literally just go out and buy it, just look at Linus's video. But if you want to actually find a little bit more detail and find out if you're going to get what you're paying for your money, then check out Marcus Brownlee's video. I'll leave the links in the description down below, because they're all definitely good, like reviewers and YouTubers and stuff like that. But this one's more realistic in my eyes. It catches my eyes more to this video. And what is it today? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? No, it can't be Thursday. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a stream live to see if Nvidia's taking care of these robots. I haven't even spoken to Nvidia about it or anything like that yet. But I guess they might do, because they don't want to have the same stuff to happen. But also, please wait. RTX 3090, there is definitely an RTX 3060, RTX 3070, RTX 3070 Ti or Super, RTX 3080 10 gig, which has already been out, RTX 3080 20 gig, and RTX 3090 I know is going to be released pretty soon. So if you wait until October to see what AMD brings to the market, then you can obviously make sure that you're not going to be upset when you spend this money. But any of you lot want to ask me any questions, ask away, because I'm going to be going in a second. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, keep safe and all that, and also if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, and obviously share this content, and hit the Discord down below. I like helping people out that want to be able to get a good budget. Maybe like you want to find out how much an NVMe costs, or graphics card, or whatever, but you want to get it at a decent price. Well, I'm your man for that. I can obviously put links down in the Discord. I think I'm going to change something up for new members as well, so you don't fall behind. People, it seems like a lot of people were joining since I've been doing my live streams anyway, and you like what I'm doing, so that's all cool. And yeah, don't forget to also comment, because it's very important. So no questions, that's all good. Right, thanks Archie for the super chat, and thanks for everyone jumping in at a different time that I normally do streams. And I'll see you all tomorrow, or maybe later, don't know. But definitely tomorrow, because Nvidia's going to be releasing the RTX 3090 at 2 PM UK time. Thanks for watching. Roger and out.